When The Who was singing about my generation, they were talking about the mod generation. Modernists, or the mods, began a movement in the late 1950s, and it was at its peak in the early 60s. Remember that fake press conference in the movie Hard Day's Night?
Are you a mod or a rocker?
No, I'm a mocker.
In England, if you were a rocker, chances are you listened to Gene Vincent, slicked your hair back, wore a leather jacket, and drove a motorcycle. But that wasn't for everyone. Mods in the 60s would wear suits, keep their hair neat, ride scooters, and dance all night. In the mid-70s, as punk rock emerged, a growing number of young people in Britain lived the mod lifestyle. And in 1979, several hundred gathered at a pub in the East End of London to hear several mod bands in a show that was being recorded. It came to be known as Mods Mayday.
Mods Mayday album was the only record that was available at the time.
Anthony Meynell is the singer-songwriter for Squire, one of the bands that played at Mods Mayday.
And everyone wanted to buy into the current mod scene. And the Mods Mayday album was it.
With the release of The Who's movie Quadrophenia, mod was no longer underground.
What happened was it just went completely overground. The high street cashed in on, the 60s mod culture, of course, because they understood it. Everything was target marks and T-shirts and Parkers and young kids running around being mod,
It's a mod world.
In Britain, it became known as the 79 Mod Revival.
It was just like, enjoy it while it happens, because, you think it can't be like this forever, can it?
The answer was no. While grunge rock became mainstream, mod went underground again.
Every 5 years there would seem to be a revival of interest. I think interest in the 60s fashion and music is now as strong as it's ever been.
Anthony Meynell and Squire will be back on stage for the 30th anniversary of the original Mods Mayday. This time a 3-day event with several dozen bands and DJs. And Anthony Meynell says he won't be surprised to see now 30-year-older mods back on the dance floor.
They just can't let it go. It's the first records they bought, and it's the soundtrack of their youth.
Neal Augenstein, 103.5 FM and WTOP.com.